Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver. You may know that. Just chilling. I mean, the past couple of weeks, I've really been, buckling down and doing my drawing Cyberfrog. Means fewer videos, and I feel kind of disconnected. I really don't like it. I really like to do YouTube. But YouTube takes a lot of concentration and making videos and stuff. I really need to be keyed into what's going on. And that takes a little research, it takes a little time. Live streams will eat like 4 hours out of your day, and in 4 hours I can get a panel done. So I'm trying to get Cyberfrog finished. I want Wreck Planet to be out on time. I've got most of the other aspects of my campaign finished. Warts and all is the only thing we're waiting on warts and all are the colors for Unforgettable 3. Everything else is in production and in some cases being shipped over. So Wrecked Planet is next up. We got to get Wrecked Planet done so that we can work on Rainbow Brute and launch Cyberfrog 3. Hi, June's Melody. Thanks for joining the channel. Runs with Phantom says EVS sounds like a robot. Is that right? I mean, I can plug in headphones. Is my voice not coming through very well? Hold on a second here. I can plug in headphones and maybe that'll improve it, unless it's my internet connection, which would be strange. Hold on. Take that out, and I'll plug this in. All right, you guys tell me, is that better? I mean, do I sound better, or is it my internet connection? I sound distorted. Is that better? Okay, yeah. All right, I just put on my operators are standing by headphones that I use to make videos. I'm using my iPhone to do this. Okay, voice of an angel. Thank you, JB. I do have a fan on. Let me turn that fan off. All right, let's just settle in. Yeah, so I just figure, do what we used to do, and it might be boring. I don't like doing like drawing streams because I really don't want to bore the piss out of you guys any more than I always do. But I don't know how to stay in touch with you otherwise. Runs with Phantom says, or like he's using the comm in an X-wing. Oh, that's cool. I should put a helmet on. I would look like an X-wing pilot right now. Mike McMahon says the U.S. Assassin Cyberfrog piece I did used only a 0.00 Copic and a brush, respective. Yes, as that took me forever. Yeah, I like them. I think those are great. I think those are great pens. Hey, Angry Bandling, thank you so much. He says, "How's it going, Uncle E? Praise the sun." Appreciate the super chats, guys. And Runs with Phantoms let me know that I sound like a robot for $2. All right, thanks. Angry Bendeling says drawing streams are boring. Only you say that, E. Okay. I just don't. I mean, usually, it's like I like to stay engaged with you guys. I think that's important. YouTube right now is acting weird. Today I put up a video, and I thought it was a good video. I watched it back. God, I went to bed at like 4 p.m. Woke up at midnight, and then came down and watched my She-Hulk video, and it was funny. I actually made myself laugh like twice. Because I always forget what I say, and then I'll go back and watch it, and I'll be like, "Oh, holy cow, that was pretty funny." But one thing about it was when I posted it, YouTube goes through these kind of periods of monkey business, and I don't know what they're doing, but I had 8,000 views on the video, and you could see that in the you could see that on my channel page. But when you actually looked at the video itself on YouTube, it said no views. It said no views for like an hour. And it was weird, but basically, eventually, all of the views caught up. So, it was just one of those things. I thought I was alone in that. I thought I was like the only one that YouTube does that kind of monkey business to. But I went and took a look at Doug TenNapel today. I wanted to see how if Doug was still if his channel was back up, because I know he had 2 strikes, and yeah, his channel's back up, but they're beating the hell out of him too. I mean, like he's getting he's getting a fraction of the views that he used to, and he made a video complaining, saying that YouTube was uniquely throttling him for the same thing today. At the same moment in time, he posted a video, and the same thing happened to him. He was whining about it. He was like, I can go back to being a comic book artist. I don't need to do this. But yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's, I mean, is it, are they singling us out? I don't really know. One thing I do not like to be is a victim, which is why my Twitter says I'm the victim here. It's ironic. Really don't like complaining. Pi 5 standing by, says runs with phantoms. Trevor Bruce says, just got pulled over twice in 30 minutes. Shaking my head. Trevor Bruce, for what? Runs with Phantom says, hail Uncle Porkins, Van Skyver. Oh, that's great. Yeah, what'd you get pulled over twice for? You speeding? Bird Gang says, is this EVS in exile? Well, I've been in exile. You know, I like being in exile. I've been in exile for, a couple years now. It's kind of nice. Talked to Zach today. Zach sent me over a tweet exchange between an SJW, one of the SJWs that was really hounding me early on. This guy was calling me a white supremacist. All the normal bullshit that like really got under my skin. I didn't like that. I really didn't like being called a white supremacist. You know, I don't mind being called a fat pie eater. I don't mind being called gay. I mean, none of those things are true. But I don't mind. I really didn't like being called a white supremacist because I'm just not, and I find that loathsome. Anyway, Zach sent me over this tweet by this guy today, and I couldn't believe it. It's all of these people, all of the people who are causing trouble, who were causing trouble for us, for Comicsgate, for Zach. You know, these guys are all like destitute. I mean, just utterly. I mean, it makes you. It just hurts, you know, when it. This person, Nina Turner, who has a check mark, I don't know who Nina Turner is, says, I find it obscene that a Congress full of millionaires, funded by billionaires, is trying to means test the difference between $50,000 and $75,000 for a life-saving survival check during a pandemic. We need more working people in our government. So I guess this is about the $2,000 check that Joe Biden was supposed to send to people. And I'm waiting for Joe Biden to do that. When Joe Biden sends the $2,000 check, I will be promoting Cyberfrog and Rainbow Brute and Snowman and Creed. Hopefully, we'll get Creed up there by then. And, you know, of course, people should be spending some of that money on crowdfunded comics or comics in general. And but I'm not aware of what's going on. I'm paying I'm working on Cyberfrog. I'm paying zero attention. By the way, look at this. A horse's eye view of Cyberfrog. Oh my God. But I'm paying zero attention to any of that. And so this guy Matt Miner, who is, I think he's a piece of shit. I don't know if I think he is a piece of shit. I think he lives in New Jersey too. I guess I met him once. He came up and introduced himself to me at a convention, but he was completely forgettable. He's one of these kind of indie scrotums that, you know, lurk in conventions, and they have all these books that, who gives a shit? But anyway, this guy in particular was out there calling me a white supremacist. And he responds to this. He goes, that stimulus check means getting our mortgage to a point where we don't lose our home. But if we're basing it on 2019, in parentheses, before I lost my comic writing gigs income, then we won't get it. Right now, I make $0 aside from the few books I can sell from my web store. Fuck, man. I was just like, fuck this dude, man. Zach said every week or two the mask slips. They like to brag about how amazing the industry is doing and how connected they all are, but and how much of a community is it is. Like the comic book industry is a big community. But Zach's like, this guy hasn't had work since the pandemic. It's like since before the pandemic. Since before the pandemic, since 2019, this guy has not been working in comics, and yet he's out there trying to make it difficult for other people to work in comics because he doesn't like them politically. Guy has a book called this. What was it called? This Nightmare Kills Fascists. Fuck you, dude. Reality kills communists. This waking daydream kills communists. Get a job, dude. Produce comics that people actually want to read. So, that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about as I draw. I'm grateful for Comicsgate. I mean, every day I get to do this. I know Cyberfrog 3 is going to do well. I mean, Rainbow the Brute I keep saying Rainbow Brute. It's Rainbow the Brute. Rainbow the Brute has done phenomenally. I got to think up a $400,000 stretch goal for Rainbow the Brute. Somebody reminded me of that today. What are you going to do for $400,000 once you get there? I don't know yet. What should I do? Should we make those like smelly pencil erasers? I mean, we could do that. I bought this thing from Costco. It was like a pack of girls' pencils with erasers that were shaped like frogs, and they smelled like petunias or something. I don't know what, but I bought them. I was like, I wonder how much these cost to make. I wonder if I can make stuff like this for Rainbow the Brute. That'd be awesome. So we got to think about it. Uh, 24-hour stream at 400K. Holy cow. That's like self-defeating. I mean, I guess I could do it, but I just, again, I need to keep drawing. I draw at a very slow pace. Especially when I'm distracted. So what else is going on? We are buried under snow. Andrea told me I had to get out there with the snowblower and get rid of it because, and this was yesterday, because it was going to freeze overnight. And so I did. I was out there at like 8 p.m. Last night, getting rid of all the snow, and sure enough, she was right. I mean, it was just it is frozen solid. We're under like 8 inches of frozen solid ice right now. Can't really go anywhere. Everyone's canceled everything. There's no school, and all I want to do is go to my new warehouse and start moving stuff in. Andrew and I are looking at our garage. It's full of Cyberfrog stuff. Like, we're going to have a garage again. We can actually set up, the treadmill and the elliptical and really, like, use the garage. Right now, the only workout space is right here in my office. So we're excited about moving all the books into the new warehouse, getting everything set up. There's an office. Like, the warehouse has a front office. It has a receptionist area. So I'm going to get internet in there. Have a receptionist. Good evening, All Caps Comics. How are you? Welcome to All Caps Comics. How may I direct your call? It's going to be awesome. iMega Art says, how can this be a chill stream without Cecil? Yeah, I know. I'd love to get Cecil in here. All right, hold on. Let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Should have been just Brute. I should have just called the campaign Brute. Figural Eraser, says Eric Hutfuls. Yeah, I mean, something like that. I could sculpt an eraser. A PVC. PVCs are so... I mean, I gotta say, PVCs are a huge project, and I mean, I'm planning on I'm going to be planning on making a Heather Swain and Vespis 3-pack PVC set for Cyberfrog 3. Now that I know how to do it and I know what's involved and I know how much it costs, I don't think Rainbow the Brute is going to get there. We need to be at like, God, I mean, we need to be at like 800,000 before we do PVC. So I'm going to have it planned for Cyberfrog 3. If, God willing, if the heavens open up and Cyberfrog 3 performs as well as or better than Cyberfrog 2, everybody will get a Heather Swain and Vespis PVC, like to scale. Can you imagine this? Heather Swain and the Vespis PVCs to scale with the PVCs that you already got. We'll put that in there. Oh my goodness. What could we do with Heather? A nice Heather PVC. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get there for Rainbow the Brute. We might. I mean, we could. I put 4,000 lunch boxes in there, like 4,000 executive boxes are for sale. I mean, if we did sell through those over the course of the next year, that's $800,000 right there, in which case it would make sense to make PVCs. But once we get to 400,000, we need to have a special little treat, something that's just for you guys, something that I can do fairly easily, that will not be an enormous project. I mean, I'm going to have to, for the Heather Swain and Vespis PVCs, I'm going to have to start working on that now. I got to get that done now and assume it's going to happen. Just have it ready to go for Cyberfrog 3, which we won't even know, like, until a year from now. We won't even know, like, how that campaign does. So, but, I mean, you got to get it done in advance. You've got to just anticipate things. I've got the action figures ready to go. I've got the Heather Swain statue ready to go, ready to pull the trigger on. It's just a matter of timing. So that's the thing. Troll hair rainbow little dolls. That's an interesting idea. You and your damn pencil tops. Well, Checkpoint. I mean, give me a better idea. Ken Jack Ben says, I know very few people who consider themselves to be right wing who would conflate their religious beliefs so much with their political ones. That's interesting. I know very few people consider themselves conflate their religious beliefs with their political ones. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't really associate I do believe you should keep religion from government, but I'm supposed to not talk about this stuff. I want Rainbow Brute scrunchies, says Daniel C. Oh, yeah, scrunchies. Too many guys out there who wear scrunchies. A unicorn head eraser. Make frog-flavored mints. Mushroom erasers that drop spores. Frogathon at 400K for Rainbow Brute. So what does a Frogathon mean? What do we do? What's a Frogathon all about? Blue Blood 71 says, I don't want a girl's pencil pie, man. This is all good criticism. I mean, I need to hear this stuff. Dudevark says, make tadpole jelly beans. I'm actually looking into that. I don't know how much involvement into, like, I don't know if you need, like, FDA approval. I don't know what it takes to make candy. But, I mean, people do make candy. What if I made Cyberfrog candy or Rainbow the Brute candy? And what kind of candy would it be? I really do want to do that. I do want to make some kind of candy. Maybe gummies or something like that. Make those puffy stickers from the 80s. Yeah, I mean, we could do that. That's easy. That would be an easy thing to do. Scented pencils called Rainbow Fruit. No homo. I only want the gayest Rainbow Brute merch, says Daniel C. Yeah, I mean, that's where we're going with this. Stretch Goal says, Wazaroo, Zach finally live streams again. He's getting there now. He's starting to think about it. I'm pretty sure that, he had a turnaround. Rock and Roll Ninja didn't perform so well, just based on the stuff that he was doing, the kind of direction that he was going in. And I think he changed his mind. I think you're gonna see more of Zach. I hope so. I miss Zach live streams. Everyone does. They were so communal. But Zach didn't know how to deal with weirdo stalkers. And Zach got quite a few of them. I think like every channel, every new channel that blows up goes through a phase where weirdo stalkers happen. And then you've got to just sort of get over it. You've got to deal with it and move on. And eventually weirdo stalkers, I think they start to go away. I don't have as many weirdo stalkers as I used to. You know. They've been shut out. Plushies would be good. We've still got the Cyberfrog plushie ready to go. If I want to do the Cyberfrog plushie, it's just a matter of not, overwhelming people. But I do want to do that Cyberfrog plushie. Forsco's Fabio says that, using the snowblower is supposed to be Hunter's job. I could not agree with you more. Hunter's got a new girlfriend. He's not home. He's just not home. He said to me, Dad, I'm going to be moving out this year. I said, oh. That's good. On the one hand, it's, he should be moving out. On the other hand, like, who's going to take the garbage out? I guess that's me. I guess I get to do that now. Sager Ryman says, Big Freeze coming our way down here in Dallas area, too. Let me catch up with the chat. Creepy crawlers. Yeah, remember creepy crawlers? That was good. That was like a glue, like plasticine that you would pour into a mold and then you would cook it. I think you put it in the oven. Those toys don't exist anymore because of toxic fumes. And kids were eating them. So they just don't exist anymore. Creepy crawlers. That shit was awesome. Trevor Bruce, thanks for $5. He says, I was pulled over twice for tag light being out before I could even get home. Wow, they must be looking for money. Normally they do that at the end of the quarter. The cops are out there pulling people over like crazy. Sorry to hear that. Right after my divorce, I started getting pulled over all the time too. I don't know. I mean, I would be going like 95 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone. And I was driving recklessly, listening to heavy metal. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I got pulled over. I got 2 reckless driving tickets, I think. Had to go to court for them. And it hasn't happened since. I mean, I still feel like I drive the same way, but I guess I don't. I have not been pulled over since. I used to get pulled over constantly. Runs with Phantom says, EVS candy would be the end of Anna. It would push her over the edge into full-blown diabetes. She'd eat so much of it. No, I think she'd be highly critical of it. I think she would be like, I don't like this candy. I'd make it. I would love to make candy for Anna. Yeah. People are very happy about law enforcement pulling me over. Mythic Rare says, hello, Uncle Ian. Greetings from Finland. Well, hello. Hello, Mythic Rare. Nice to have you here. Hello from New Jersey. Lethal Diva says, would be cool to do like a Cyberfrog Power Records type of thing. What's a Cyberfrog Power Records thing? Explain yourself, Lethal Diva. Let me know. Creepy crawlers were not delicious. If you ate a creepy crawler, you would be chemically poisoned. I don't think you were meant to eat. Unless they made gummy creepy crawlers, I don't think you were meant to eat those. D. Gray says, just because your headlights are off doesn't make you invisible. Yeah, I've done that. You know what? Every time you take your car in for servicing, they give your car back and they turn the automatic headlights off. So that you forget, my headlights just come on automatically at a certain time of the day. So, I always forget. I'm like, wait a second. How come it seems really dark here? And other cars are honking at me. And you go, oh, my headlights are off. Shit. That's happened to me like 3 times in my life. Now I know to look for it. I'm like, oh, my car was detailed. I better put on make sure my automatic headlights are on again. EVS driving the new van, reckless. Oh, dude, the new van is so much fun. I really like the new van. I don't drive it recklessly, though. I'm always worried that, because it's so tall, I get it in my head like the wind is gonna blow it over if I take a turn too hard, and I think it will too. I got to be careful driving the new van, but I really dig it. We are ready to go. We've got so much stuff coming in. We are fully prepared. We got the warehouse, and we're actually going to become a business. How crazy is that? And people say, well, what do you do? And we have to answer the question, like, what do you do? We're a publisher. We're a small family publisher. We have a warehouse. We ship things. We ship toys and comics. Comics about frogs. I mean, it's pretty exciting. We have a family business. And maybe it'll lead to other things. Sorry when I get quiet, guys. I'm just focused. Whenever I do draw streams, I just end up talking to you guys and, I stop drawing. So please excuse me. Cancel culture's a thing. I mean, I have people saying to me a lot, when is there going to be a Cyberfrog movie or video game? And it's like, ordinarily there would be one already, but, the way things are right now, anyone who wanted to do a Cyberfrog anything would get harassed. We've seen that happen. They would get swarmed by creeps who are waiting for Joe Biden to pay their mortgage. Right now, I mean, at this point in time, I don't know if you feel like weird things are happening, but I mean, nothing makes sense in the traditional way that things used to make sense. I mean, we are living through, I don't even know, like the 1950s almost. Metal Movies and Brewski says, make 5 tiny rainbow toys, little homie style. Well, I mean, I would. Where is 3D Robin? 3D Robin would sculpt those for me. I'd get somebody else to do it, I guess. 3D Robin got a job. He let me know the other day. I got a message from him. He was so mad at me. 3D Robin was like, you know how painful it is for me to watch you try to play the video game that I made and not figure it out and then have to show it in like 2 frames per minute? He's like, that's my life's work, you spaz. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Robin. He's like, please, download the game. It's like, that's like the second time you've done that to me. He's like, imagine if I was trying to show off Cyberfrog Blood Honey and I could only show it to people through a cheesecloth. He's like, that's what you're doing to me. All right, Robin. It's true. I do need I need a tech guy. Well, I mean, it would be Adrian Stone. Adrian Stone, if he wasn't so far away, he'd come over. He'd fix all this stuff. Runs with Phantom says, do you need drivers for delivering your comic orders? My driving record is squeaky clean, and some cross-country driving sounds cool. No, it's not going to be like that. It's just a matter of packing up an enormous amount of boxes and taking them to the post office. Like, I don't think we're going to be delivering them cross-country, but no, it's just delivering to the post office and moving things. Yeah. Yeah, it's McCarthyism. We're going through that right now. And, look, in the 1950s, these communists could not get work. They had to use fake names. You know, it was just a bad time for it's a bad time for commies, a good time for America. Great time for America. Now it's the reverse of that. The commies are making the rules, and they're getting their revenge. You know, they're like, "Oh yeah, we convinced you that McCarthyism, that Joe McCarthy was wrong and it was a sin and all this stuff what McCarthy did." But that was all a ruse. No, now that we've got power, we're going to do the exact same shit that he did, or that we accused him of doing that he didn't really do. Everything that, here's the thing throughout history, every time a leftist accuses you of anything, it's what they want to do or are planning to do or will do once they get into power. Every single time. Every single time. You go, what the hell? Like, why, why are they saying this about us? Why are they, why are they calling us racist? Because they're racist. Because they want to organize things by skin color and, they want to adopt this new class system based on victimization. Eric Just says, question, what books, sites, or videos would you suggest reading, using, or watching to learn to draw in a decent comic book style, not Tumblr style? What books would I suggest? There are quite a few. And a lot of people talk about Bern Hogarth. I would say yes to that. Underappreciated was the original John Buscema How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, which is completely outdated now because How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way is to basically draw men like pussies and women like gorillas. That's basically How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way now. So, go back and just look at the way things used to be. What videos? I mean, there are a lot of good guys right here. David Finch has his own channel where he does draw streams. He does live streams, and he does a great job. He'll sit there and he'll draw a subject matter, a character every time. David Finch's channel is good, and it's blowing up too. Where is Cecil? Is Cecil here? Oh, he says, do you need someone to live in the warehouse to make sure commies don't break in? Yeah, Cecil, there's a kitchen and a shower in there. There's a bathroom. There's a full bathroom, and I don't know why. So why is there a shower in here? I received no answer for that. By the way, the person who previously rented the warehouse was storing all of these slot machines in there. I said, if this person doesn't want to take the slot machines out of here, that would be fine. I will take them. I'll put them in my basement. These are illegal to own in New Jersey. You're not allowed to own a slot machine that was made subsequent to 1940 in New Jersey. Because they don't want you to have, like, I'd have a slot machine in here and I'd be inviting people to gamble in my basement. I'd have, a parking lot. People would come over just to play my 1 or 2 slot machines that are in my basement, gambling. So that's why they're illegal. They want you to gamble in Atlantic City, not at Ethan's house. But I mean, if this guy had a ton of slot machines, if he wanted to leave 1 or 2 behind, I wouldn't tell anyone. Mr. Dr. U2 says, can I have a small lock of your hair so my girlfriend has an aphrodisiac to get her in the mood? That is a great question. But I cannot spare a lock of my hair. Dude Mark says, going to Ethan's basement equals a gamble. Yeah, sure does. Cecil wants to know what New Jersey's laws are on squatters' rights, asking for a friend. Squatters' rights. Yeah. It's true. Come on over. Use my slot machines. Cecil and I will organize the slot machines so that they never pay out. Bird Gang says, I work in a warehouse and there's a shower in the men's bathroom. I mean, I guess why? Like, what if you get chemicals on you or something? And you need to, I mean, it's not because you work in a warehouse with hot guys and you might want to have a nice soapy shower at some point after work. It's mostly because, maybe for safety reasons, I would guess. I don't know, but I don't want to. I don't want to walk into my office and find dudes showering. When they should be. I don't want to see dudes lathering each other up, soaping each other up when they're supposed to be packing honeycomb boxes. I don't want dudes to be packing their honeycomb boxes when they should be packing honeycomb boxes. That's what I'm concerned about. So I'm not crazy about having the shower in my office. Runs with Phantom says, finally, Ethan is going to help Cecil move out of his sister's house. Cecil is a born warehouse dweller. Cecil, yeah, just wait till we turn the electricity on, and I won't tell anybody. Put a nice futon in there for you. That'd be good. I put a futon in the receptionist area for Cecil, and he can just, I don't know. I mean, I picture this as becoming like the Ghostbusters firehouse. Just people flopping all around. If business needs to be done, everybody will kind of wake up, get to work, but mostly they'll be playing cards. Trevor Bruce says, what's the best type of pen for inking? I can draw, but inking not so much. I really like what I'm using here. These are Copic multi-liners. This is a very fine pen. You can get packs of them in different sizes. And get these. These are great. Let's see. Ask EVS if he's going to sell Wreck Planet comics with a sketch in them. We do have that. We do have that option. You can get a sketch in Wreck Planet. Mark Roberts says, this is my first super chat, but how do I self-publish my comics for the first time? Well, Mark, first you need to have an Indiegogo account. And you need to, get a comic underway, and then try to crowdfund it. And once you crowdfund it, there are a number of comic book printers that are out there that will print your comic book once your comic book is finished, and then you will have to ship it yourself. That's how to self-publish a comic book. You can always try to find a publisher. You can always try to find a small press publisher who will do this for you. Runs with Phantom says, your warehouse would become an Oxmall dungeon in the wink of a bumhole. Ew. Ed Hart says, Mandalorian Dave Finch episode 3 to 4 months ago was the one Finch spoke highly of Ethan 2 hours into the stream. Yeah, Dave, I like Dave. Dave's like, Dave and I have been friends for years, and, I like that he's not afraid. The shower is to wash off Gumara before you head home, a very New Jersey amenity. Oh, that's interesting. So I'll fill my warehouse with whores. My warehouse will be where I meet my whores. And then I get a shower there before I go home. Peter's Fat says, Cecil doing drunken streams from the warehouse is the best idea ever, ever, ever. It's possible. Empty Art House says, Gumara. Gumars. Yeah. Yeah, those are the girlfriends that you're cheating on your wife with in New Jersey speak. Guy from Red Bank says, that's gross, Ethan. I didn't say it. Cecil said it. I would never cheat. That's not who I am. Cecil is, though. Cecil would definitely have many Gumars. Matt Becker says, shut the fuck up, Ethan. He didn't say it like that. He said it like, shut the fuck up, Ethan. But I made him sound cool. I said, shut the fuck up. But really, it was, shut the fuck up. Like that. How do you like that, Becker? Mr. Dr. U2 says, EVS only cheats death. EVS and Cecil go to White Castle. I don't do that. Today, I don't know if you saw the picture I posted of myself on Twitter, but I got like dressed up. I wore like an ascot, like a giant ascot around my neck, with a wig and a silly vest and everything. I was a camouflage pants. It looked ridiculous, but I was gonna do a live stream maybe. So Andrea's upstairs and she goes, "Hey Ethan, do you have shoes on?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh, could you take this out to the mailbox?" And I go, "Sure." So I walk upstairs dressed like that, and she goes, "What the fuck?" She's like, "You are not going outside like that." I said, "Why? I got my shoes on. I'll take the letters, actually a bunch of Cyberfrog books, to the mailbox." And she's like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And I said, she's like, "I can't let the neighbors see you like that." She's like, "You don't even know what you look like. You look like Bozo the Clown." She's like, "You can't even, like," she's like, "Look." She's like, "Look in the mirror right now. Look in the mirror." So I looked in the mirror and I actually liked what I saw. She said, "You look ridiculous." I said, "Not like a rock star?" She's like, "No, like a clown." I was like, "Oh." So she's like, "Fine, I'll put my own shoes on and I'll take it out to the mailbox." So she did. But I was ready to go. I mean, I was ready. Had my shoes on. I would have happily. The issue was it was snowy outside, so she didn't want to have to do it. I was ready to do it. I was dressed and ready to go, but she didn't like what I was wearing. So that's the way it is. Buy frog coin, says Barb Rogers. Thank you for $2. Will the Rainbow the Brute lunchbox come with a lunch in it? I plan on being hungry, says Scott Sands. No, not like that kind of nourishment, but like a good comic book, which is, equally nourishing. Several good comic books. Yeah. She didn't like what I was wearing. Well. Peter's Fat says, Cecil, get on the stream so that Ethan can draw more. No. I'm fine. And plus I can. I'm broadcasting from my phone. I can't really can't give Cecil the link, I don't think. I'm telling you, when you are down here in the basement drawing all day long and doing nothing but watching Pauly Shore videos. I was watching Pauly Shore videos today. That's why I dress like that. I don't know how that started. I think I was watching. Here's how I got to Pauly Shore. Because otherwise, it's like, well, why would you be watching Pauly Shore videos? So I'm listening to Howard Stern, and he's talking about Sam Kinison. And I went, you know what? I never liked Sam Kinison in the 90s, really. I thought he was kind of vulgar. My sense of humor has always been, much more highbrow. Like I Married with Children was one thing. You watch that and shut your brain off. That was kind of the Sam Kinison thing of the 90s. That whole thing, that whole phenomenon. I've always been, drinking my tea with my pinky extended. I mean, that's the type of guy that I've always been. And so, I never liked Sam Kinison, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch a Sam Kinison. This is the glory of YouTube. I would never pay money to watch Sam Kinison or to listen to what he had to say, but I can do it for free right now. I can go listen to some Sam Kinison and see if I missed anything. And so I went back. I was listening to Sam Kinison, and it was so 90s. Like, he was bringing out these, he brought out these hot floozies, and he's like, "This one's 19. Oh," like, what his screaming. And, look, she was a Jersey girl. She, I don't know, she was a brunette. Her hair was teased out. She was wearing a thong on stage with, like, some kind of, Las Vegas showgirl's costume. I don't know what it was, but anyway. Andrea came downstairs. She was bringing me a nice chicken wrap, and I said, "Hey, remember Sam Kinison?" She's like, "I hated Sam Kinison. Hated Sam Kinison." I was like, "Yeah, but like this is making me feel the 90s. Like 1990 was a pretty good year." I was like, "Remember when MTV was good? Like I mean, it was never good, but they were playing music videos and stuff, and Metallica's Enter Sandman, and yeah, it was just, man, it was just a fun year." So I started thinking about it, and then I went, Pauly Shore. I wonder what Pauly Shore's doing now. I went from Sam Kinison. I went from Howard Stern to Sam Kinison to MTV to, of course, Pauly Shore. Like, because he was a host, and he was always out there, like, wheezing the nugs. He was doing the MTV, like, Total Request Live bullshit. Like, he was always out partying and having more fun than me. I always watched MTV and I said, why are these people out having more fun than me all the time? The entire world looked like people in their bikinis. This is what I thought the world actually looked like. As I was sitting at my house drawing Cyberfrog comics in my lap on typing paper. The rest of the world, they were hanging out with Pauly Shore. And they were dancing spring break, getting drunk, Everybody else was listening to CNC Music Factory and being naked, and I was not, So I watched a little Pauly Shore, and that made me dress up like Pauly Shore, which horrified my wife. She wasn't following the through line. I'm explaining it to you guys. But she wasn't following my train of thought, when I came upstairs. Mike Trout says, support AOC or you support drowning babies. Win-win. What kind of babies? AOC. Can't believe we've got 425 people in here. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm talking about bullshit. Hypnotist Ray Williams says, check out Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, I will. I do want to check out, who's the other comedian? I want to look at some Bill Hicks videos. Bill Hicks, I think, famously committed suicide or died on the same day as Kurt Cobain, so nobody gives a shit. But he was a comedian, and he was supposed to be pretty funny. I'm going to go watch some Bill Hicks stand-up. I'm into stand-up comedy today and yesterday. It's not normally what I seek out on YouTube. Normally on YouTube, I look for Sweetcast videos and your boy Zach, but now I'm going to watch Bill Hicks and Pauly Shore. Yeah, Bill Hicks would be more... Oh, he died of cancer. Okay, good. I'm glad he didn't commit suicide. That was the whole thing. It was like, Bill Hicks is a great comedian, like one of the best of our time, and nobody cares right now because Kurt Cobain died the same day he did. That's the worst thing ever. Bill got cancer. Watch his show in London. I will. How's your father? Says he died of cancer. Good. No. I just mean I don't mean it's good that he died of cancer. I just mean I'm glad he didn't kill himself. B. Jordan says, Shim Hulk. This is what decades-long soy-based products consumption, participation trophies, and failure is success mantras hath wrought. EVS, love your content. Much respect. Thank you, B. Jordan. I hope you liked my video about that subject. Disgusting. These SJWs are absolutely foul. And they all have explanations for it. They want you to cope with it. They want you to sit there and look at what they're doing and just go, oh, well, I guess you talked me into it. I guess it makes sense that... I mean, all of the women, all of the female characters are being turned into men. And all of the men are becoming... I mean, these pussies that make these comics, it's disgusting. David... Gagnon says, conspiracy theory is that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. They're very similar. Very, very similar. But yeah, I mean, they just want you to look at She-Hulk and just accept that. And if you don't, I mean, the one thing that I noticed is I started looking at Twitter again about the She-Hulk reaction, and like all of these people, their whole thing to get you to be quiet is they say, "Why? Why don't you like this version of She-Hulk? Why does she have to be somebody that you can stroke your penis to? Why are you?" Why are you mad? Because you can no longer pull on your penis to the way She-Hulk looks? And I don't know why they take that for granted because I'm pulling on my penis now over the way she looks now more than ever. But that's not the point. I mean, the point was never about that. It was about what was most aesthetically pleasing. And most aesthetically pleasing would be, D. Gray says too much information. Okay, sorry. Uh, most aesthetically pleasing is what comic books should always be about. Who are these people and why do they say things like this? Why are they ruining things? Yeah, they'll get you to be quiet. They'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna take everything that you thought was lovely about women, all the beauty of women." Like, I mean, when look, when Sam Kinison brought those harlots out on stage with him, I mean, I fully understood. I mean, he's just like, "I love women." He said, "I love women," and that's what he meant. He meant, I love the way these women look and smell and behave and act. I agree. Doyle Hargrave says for $5, my Comicsgate coin hit 62 grand. Thanks, man. Miller is trying to hedge fund me though. Take that big coin. Doug's coin is in exile at 150. Wait, negative 150%. Okay. Uh, yeah, like you look at these women, and I mean they're beautiful women, and it's like that's what people want to look at. They just want to look at this aesthetic. These people want to take that away and make She-Hulk into a big chunk. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is some kind of and then the other thing that they do is they'll go, I guess you hate trans people. So She-Hulk is trans now? Like what the fuck is going on? Yeah. It's called brutalism, says Central Scrutinizer. The complete lack of aesthetic taste. Buildings are boxes. Women are shapeless and frumpy or boxy and masculine, etc. Brutalism. Mr. Dr. U2 says, has Salamandroid ever got his tail cut off and used it as a whip against his enemies? Well, he could use it as a whip against his enemies now while it's attached. If he got it cut off, I imagine it would grow back. But I guess he could pick it up and use his own severed tail to attack enemies. Sure, why not? Andy Montemayor says when Sam first got to California, when he saw the women, he said it's amazing how far you can get with a can of hairspray and spandex. Yeah. Brutalism. I have to look into that. It's the first I've heard that term, but I like it. Trans has become a fad, says Sean Crummell. Yeah, I think so. I think it has, and there's an encouragement about it. They encourage kids. They encourage kids to be trans. To me, it sounds like a bad time, but that's just me. To me, it sounds like something that I wouldn't want to be. If you are, if that's who you are, it's probably something that you arrive at in adulthood, First alcoholism. You have to have suffered through alcoholism and despair, and then finally you realize, I'm trans. Be hard to make that leap when you're 8 years old. But what do I know? I'm 46 years old. I'm a boomer. I'm all man. Never had questions about things like that. Never resented men or women. Never did. You know? E Productions calls me a bigot. Fair enough. Yeah. Linkovich Tomasky says, all man and then some. You better believe it, pal. Sir Angus Fungus says 46 is gay. Gay? How is 46 gay? Bootleg Godzilla says, you never had questions. You just started by banging dudes. I've never banged a dude. Not interested. Twitter Trash suggests we make something called Bigot Coin. Runs with Phantom says, brutalism, is this some kind of cult of Bothia? How do you pronounce that? Bothia. Gabe Oi Toucher says, Ethan, I'm a fantasy writer. How would I go about getting my novels turned into a series of comics? Should I just directly contact an artist like yourself with 3 question marks? This is the question I get most out of... I get tons of emails like this. I never answer them. I always just delete them. My email box is mostly made up of people saying, how do I do comics? And it's the kind of question that I never really had the balls to ask when I was 19 years old. I just did it. I was 19 years old and I just did it. You gotta just find it within yourself to gather the resources to do it. It really, when you see the morons that make comics, you go to a convention, look at Artist Alley, and you see dummies that have produced comic books. There really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, if you're a novelist, you are already a writer. You could directly approach an artist if you want to. I guess you could do that. You could go that way. You try to hire an artist. It's the worst scenario, though. I mean, trying to hire an artist and you have no connection to them. You're just on Fiverr or something like that. You're looking for an artist to draw your comic book. He's got no connection to you. He's not interested. He's just doing this for money. It isn't really a great situation. There has to be some sort of relationship. There has to be some kind of friendship. There has to be some kind of association. I was one of the before I even did Cyberfrog, before I got Cyberfrog published, somebody brought me home the Philadelphia Free Paper, and on the back of it was a big ad that just said Silent Majority. Like there were the free ads in the back. It says Silent Majority Comics. We're looking for artists and writers to come work for a new publisher right here in Philly, a Philly-based publisher. Here's our phone number. So I called this dude. And I had to send him over my pages. I sent him over a bunch of Cyberfrog pages, and of course, he hired me, as it were, and we all got together for a meeting. We met in this guy's basement apartment in Philly, and I think there were about 12 of us, and we would, I think the group would largely be, we were kind of like new. Everybody there was kind of new wave, like early '90s Philadelphia. Dead Milkmen, punk rock kind of characters, and we're all in this basement, and this big fat dude comes out with a big flock of seagulls hairdo, and he goes, hello everyone. He goes, welcome to the first meeting of Silent Majority Comics. I've picked you guys from a number of submissions that I've received, and he's like, we're going to be a publisher. I am going to publish 10 comic book series based on my original ideas. I'm going to tell you the ideas, and you are going to create them, and I am going to be the new Stan Lee of the independent comic book scene. And I said, oh, okay. So he handed us out our ideas, right? He said, you guys are going to be, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this idea, and you're going to do this idea. He gave us like sheets of paper with the rough notes about what the ideas were. He gave me one, and it said, you're going to write and draw my idea, King's Cross. King's Cross. And I looked around, and I was like, wait, how come they're doing a book called Domino Dancing? How come they're doing a book called West End Girls? I was like, are you a big Pet Shop Boys fan? He's like, how did you know? I was like, so basically you're taking Pet Shop Boys songs and you're making comic books about them. He's like, wow. So I was like, where are you getting the money from this? And he's like, well, my aunt is going to die, and she's leaving me behind an inheritance of $45,000, which I will then invest into this comic book company. So I'm just like, so I was like, we have to wait until your aunt dies? I was like, this is Philadelphia. We can speed up that process if you need us to. He's like, no, she's going to die. I'm going to get this money. We'll wait. And I drew I was so excited about doing comics. I drew 10 pages of King's Cross. You can still see an ad for it in the back of the original Cyberfrog. This guy was a clown. Obviously, it never really came through, but, I made contacts. I remember talking to all the other creators who were going to be a part of this. It didn't work ultimately because the people that he actually selected were talented. I think one of them actually did go on to become a professional as well. One of the other people in there, I can't remember who it was. But this guy came up to me and said, remember Silent Majority Comics? Yeah, I remember that shit. Anyway, you can do it. I mean, you really should have some kind of relationship with the artist that goes beyond, hey, I'm just paying you, because artists are notorious flakes. Look at me. I haven't even finished this one drawing yet because I'm talking shit on YouTube. That's the way it works. Empty Art House says, Ethan, draw. I can't. Right now, if you saw me, my chair is turned to the side. I have my fist on my forehead, and I'm looking to the sky with my eyes closed, leaned back, looking at the ceiling. And I'm reminiscing about, I'm speaking extemporaneously about the past, It's as if I'm writing a novel about my life, but I'm narrating it so that somebody will eventually transcribe it into a best-selling book about all of the things that I went through. Ethan, tell us how you really feel. We're here for you, says Shady Nasty. Okay, I will. Gabe Oi Toucher says, thanks, Ethan. I really appreciate the advice. Was that advice? It's like discouragement. I'm very discouraging sometimes. Runs with Phantom says, the cloud is moving nearer still. Aurora Borealis comes in view. Aurora comes in view. Oh, that's Iran by, what's his face? Flock of Seagulls. Kanan White's in here. He says, sup, Ethan, just lurking, man. Hope all is well. Sup, Kanan White. All is well. Things are good. It's Ma'am says, bring Ethan to me. Ketracel White says, wrap it up. Ketracel White is a troll. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he is Jabba the Cuck, but he acts just like Jabba the Cuck. Mr. Sophocles says, thought there was a Cecil stream tonight. What the fuck went wrong? I don't know. When was there going to be a Cecil stream? I never know what's going on. Nobody tells me anything. Yeah. Earlier, what? Okay, Cecil did do it. No, Cecil did a stream. He did one earlier with Anna. I was there. I was in the audience. He was talking about She-Hulk with Anna. I mean, Anna dared to do... I love when Anna does overdraw. Anna did another overdraw on the She-Hulk. On the She-Male Hulk drawing. The infamous She-Male Hulk drawing. And, of course, it was received with respect, from the SJW community. It was received thankfully, by those people. No, of course it wasn't. They called her a Nazi bitch. By the way, as I said in my video, like that's really when you know. Like you go, I don't know about this. Like I feel as though this effort to destroy She-Hulk, to redefine She-Hulk as a big bulky man who looks, really, it's ridiculous. I feel like this might be one of those SJW things. I feel like they might be invested in this. And you go, am I being paranoid or is this SJWs doing this? Well, the one way to really find out is to do what Anna did and do an overdraw and say, no, give her boobies back, right? And when you give her boobies back and then they start shrieking and calling you a Nazi, you go, bullseye. I knew it. Like that's, I was exactly right. This is something they actually care about. This is one of their little projects. And that's when, you found the scab and now it's time to start picking at it. And we will. I mean, of course. I'll probably I'll follow up on the She-Hulk situation there and try to figure out where we're going. But for goodness sake, Runs with Phantom says, "Sing it, you fat bastard." Hence the mic emoji. Is that what that means? I'm supposed to sing? I'm not gonna sing. I sing enough for you guys. I mean, I do. I did a really nice version of Shane Davis's Starlight Cats. I did it on the piano. I think Shane appreciated it. Maybe not as much as he should have, though. Does Jason Aaron wear a fedora? I don't know. I've never seen. I'm not sure. Runs with Phantoms. Broken Heart says, "I'm sorry, Ethan." Thank you for $2. Runs with Phantoms. I forgive you. Yep. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I met Barnaby. We have to get together a big celebration for when Rainbow the Brute hits 400,000. I want it to occur. Shane should hit his 100,000 way before then, but how great would it be if Shane Davis hit 100,000, Dan Fraga hit 200,000, and Rainbow the Brute hit 400,000 all on the same night, and we just did a big stream about it. And who else? Is there another one that's like right on the border? Twitter Trash says AOC loves you. I doubt that. I don't think she would. She is a bride of Satan and a harlot and a dumb whore. I would say she's a dumb bitch. I'd say she's a dumb bitch and a bride of Satan. No offense to anyone who is a fan. Yeah, if we could get Fragaboom to hit 200,000 on Black Flag. And like I said, who else is right on the border of some... Runs with Phantom says, "When you play keyboard and sing, it warms my soul." Empty Art House says, "A stupid bitch and a liar." Yeah, she got caught lying. Pretending the Capitol riots were a big problem. Eddie Winkler says, "Sovereign Wolf is only 80K away from 100K. Ooh. There we go. Sovereign Wolf is one that should be... I don't understand. Eddie Winkler, are you a sparkling personality? If you're a sparkling personality, I would have you on my show because your book is good, I don't know if you're a sparkling personality, though. Force Ghost Fabio says AOC was great in Conan the Barbarian. Did she play the horse that Conan punched? Yeah. It was a camel. Oh. Mr. Sophocles says, I hated EVS. And then I met Barnaby, now confirmed. Oh, shit. It was a camel, you bigot. Haven't seen that movie in a long time. Was it Conan the Barbarian or was it Conan the Destroyer that he punched the camel? Oh, the guy in Blazing Saddles punched the horse. That's right. Oh, Fatal. Yeah, Fatal's at like 91,000. We got to do Fatal too. Oh, it was Conan the Barbarian. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we could do Fatal. We could get Fatal to. People always say, who are the big up and comers like in Comicsgate, and to me, it's Clint. You know, Clint's doing great. So that's what we'll need to do. We'll need to get everyone together and decide like when we're going to pull the trigger to make that happen. All those campaigns hit milestones all at once. Has everyone backed Starlight Cats or no? We got to get everyone backing those kitties. You got to back those kitties. Runs with Phantom says something actually on topic. What did you think of Schwarzenegger's post-Capitol thingy speech with his Conan sword? I thought it was gay. You know, everyone acting like that was a travesty after the past year. They're liars. Eddie Winkler says, I can be sparkling at times. I'll fulfill this campaign to prove I can deliver, but I would love to be on for the second campaign if you'd have me. All right. I had to yell. I had Patrick Thomas Parnell on. I had to rewatch it because I was like, shit. I was like tired. The other night I had Patrick Thomas on there and I like yelled at him. I've never yelled at Patrick before. I yell at Cecil every day, but like, that's a joke. Like, I was actually like yelling at Patrick. Was that rough? Looking at your comments. All right. Yeah, you can take it. Cecil's here. He says, streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m. with Anna. Drop by if you're still awake. Super chats go to Drunk 3PO's charity. Auctioning my Cecil drawing too. Cecil. Worthy cause. That is great. I like Cecil. Mr. Dong says, tough love, Frog. Yeah, I don't understand it. I am noticing something. Like, here's the thing. All right, so first of all, you're on my channel. Like, you're invited to come in here, and if you're good on my channel, a good appearance, you can earn $3,000 on your campaign. I mean, if you really do a good job, that we've seen it happen. You can make $3,000 for your campaign just by appearing on my channel and having a good pitch. And yet people come on this channel and then they're tired and they act bored about their own projects. I got to tell you, if you are bored about your comic book, who else? Oh, shit. Oh, this drives me insane. If you're bored about your comic book and you cannot muster enthusiasm enough to get people, to show people that you're excited about it in a genuine way, how do you ever expect to sell your comic book to anyone? Forscus Fabio says, if you're not excited about your book, why should I? Simple as that. And so I'm like, don't come on this show high Don't come on this show with a mouthful of marbles, mumbling. You come on this show and promote your book. I also did notice this though. Clint, even though Clint is a big success, I watched his new video and his opener bothered me because, yeah, when you're making YouTube videos, you should definitely, promote. You should definitely have something to say first. You should have your subject matter, your entertainment. But your advertisement for your comic book shouldn't be something that you rush through yourself. I mean, other people might choose to rush through your advertisement for your comic book, but don't be so modest. Go ahead and talk about your comic book with some enthusiasm. That's why I have ads that are just over the top that I put in all my videos. It's like Rainbow Brute, Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. You want to just kind of have some enthusiasm about it because there's always somebody who's hearing about it for the first time. And if you are not excited about it and you are just going, yeah, I got a book called Fatal right now. It's doing really well. We got this other thing called Thrilling Comics. So if you want to back that, that's cool. All right. Anyway, on to the story. I didn't even hear any of that. Like, I didn't hear any of it. People just go, I don't know, Comicsgate isn't working for me. Well, you're not working for you. Man, you talk about your own comic book campaign as though it's something that you're embarrassed about, and you have to just get through it real quick as an obligation. When you and I both know that it is the main thing that's on your mind. You don't care about what you're talking about. You mostly care about your comic book. That's why we do this. We're trying to make comics. We're trying to promote them. And I see way too many people who just have no enthusiasm for what they're offering people at all. And I will also say Shane Davis. I never see Shane Davis talking about Starlight Cats in an enthusiastic way. Shane Davis needs to pump it up too. And I'll yell at him in private and in public. Be excited about it. And Shane is putting so much work into his book, man. It's, Starlight Cats. He's got new pages that he shows that are just dynamite. So, yeah, like you are steering the ship. You are the engine. You are the propeller. You are what moves you into either the stratosphere or onto the ground. Not everybody can escape their own comic book failure by investing in Bitcoin. Not everybody can do that. Some people do still want to sell comic books and succeed on their own merits and not on the whims of Elon Musk. Some of us have to actually focus on selling hot dogs. That's what we do here. We're hot dog salesmen. Hot dog salesmen. Shane is a low-key hentai, says Hentai Happy. What? Matt Becker says, what the fuck ever happened with Nasser? Nasser's doing pretty good. He's launching a bunch of new campaigns. I watched his video today where he felt that he had been canceled by his artist. Be excited, guys. What happened to the Irish guy? Yeah, I was wondering about that. Where is Carl Stefan? I haven't seen him in a while. Runs with Phantom says Shane has resting forlorn face. That's what's funny. When we get Shane laughing and like he just breaks out into laughter, it is the most awesome thing in the world. It's such a joyous sight. Caution Time says, Ethan, are the Vespas gendered? Yes. Their stingers seem pretty phallic. They are, but they have nothing to do with reproduction. Is Cyberfrog a commentary on toxic masculinity? No. Maybe some of it, but no, not mainly. Mr. Sophocles says Shane is the Jeb Bush of Comicsgate, low energy. Carlo Rowe, yeah, Carl Stefan is Carlo Rowe. Wait, Carl Stefan did The Boys, right? Not The Boys. Merry Boys. Carlo Rowe did Deathsworn, and I don't know where he is. I haven't seen either of those guys lately. I assume they're working on their books. Runs with Scissors says Cecil won't dance for me like Witten. Here's his $2. Hey, thanks, Runs with Scissors. How many hours a week do you draw EVS? 25. Not that many. Not as many as I used to. Lately, I'm trying to up the ante and draw more. When I worked at DC, I drew 12 hours a day. And I'm telling you, it's awful for you. It is awful for your personality. It's awful for your relationship. It's awful for your family. It's just awful for like who you are to be drawing. You should not be drawing 12 hours a day every day for your life to make a tiny paycheck. You just shouldn't be doing it. There's nothing honorable about it. You're working for a big corporation. Fuck that. There's nothing good about it. I wholesale reject my past. It was good. It was good practice. It was good to be out there in the in the trenches, learning how to do comics with these other miserable pedophiles and washouts and perverts. But look, I am not them. I'm not these people. I had difficulty working around many of them. I thought the men were effeminate. I thought the women were often angry bitches. I said this in my video. I realized that all the men in comics have become Joan Rivers. They all act like that now. Creepy. Except they're not funny. Runs with Phantom says, scissors won't dance for me like our anti-knife. Here's his $5. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for sending me money tonight. I'll invest all this money in Bitcoin. What did I miss? I missed a super chat. Days of Clarity says only Cecil can come on mumbling and off his nut. Yeah, Cecil's an entertainer, though. Cecil's extremely funny and smart. Sean Crummell says, for no rational reason, I need you to know that he punched the camel in both Conan movies. Oh, he punched a camel twice. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Like I said, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen either Conan movie. I really like Conan. All right, where are we at here? Let me see. Antonio the Guido is questioning whether or not Cecil is actually smart. I think he is. David Gagnon says, I'm drawing 12 hours a day now, and it's brutal on the body. Yeah, it is. God, that's how I got so fat. I mean, I spent 25 years drawing like that. It's terrible. It's awful. When I first decided I wanted to be a comic book artist, 19 years old, I was looking at pictures of like Chris Claremont and John Byrne, and everybody's fat and bearded, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to grow up to be that. Fuck, man, here I am. I'd like to go back and show my 19-year-old self me, and he'd say, well, I think my 19-year-old self would look at me today and go, you've still got that je ne sais quoi, you've still got that sex appeal, that charm, that elan, but you did become fat, bearded, and bald, which is what we were intending not to be. Here I am, skinny David Bowie EVS. And, now look at you. Thank God for Andrea. Look at Andrea. I go, are you sure? You look at me and take a. You want to back out of this? You see what you're married to? You want to back out of this? You let me know. She's like, nope, I love you. Manicore Promotion says, Uncle E, is there a queen wasp? These would be spoilers, but I want you to think about that situation and say, would there be? I mean, I have said before that, the Vespas are very intelligent. They have a society, but we'll get into that. We'll get into all of that. That's much later. Trevor Wright says she probably asks herself that every day. Oh my God. Peter's Fat says, you're doing great. Stop complaining. Yeah, I know. I am doing great. I have nothing to complain about. Oh my God. Eject, Andrea. Eject now. EVS is growing. I think she's in for the long haul. Thank goodness. All right, let me put my glasses back on. Again, I started talking, and so I took my glasses off because I don't know. I was looking at the walls and the ceiling. Show us your Peloton screen so we can see the hours logged. That wouldn't help you. And I don't even think Peloton does that. I don't think they show the hours logged. You sleep with your wedding ring on? Yes. Matt Becker says, when my wife finally saw you, she goes, that's what he looks like? Well, yeah, I mean, that was a problem early on in the channel. People think my voice kind of puts an image in your head. But not only that, like you hear my voice and then you see the laughing man icon and you just assume like you see that, they actually do work together really well. But then you see me and you go, I want to be kind. That is why Comicstorian said, one of the things that you need to do is ignore your boy Zach's advice. Get your face on screen, on camera, as soon as you can. Do not wait. You don't want to scare people. People should know what they're getting into. I said, thanks, Comicstorian. Yeah. Kirby Carpenter says, Ethan, it looks like you've lost a weight. I saw you recently in a live stream. Well, that's nice. I honestly have not stepped on the scale. I do not know. I do know that I'm exercising every day. Stepping on the scale is not productive. Days of Clarity says, you got to lock that ass down. And by ass, I mean Cecil. Lock Cecil down? How? What do you mean? D. Gray says, I laugh when people can't get a ring off they've worn so long. Comes off. She said you look like a dry piece of jerky. It says Emperor Billy Ritchie. When Pelotons become self-aware, Ethan's will cry out in pain and kill itself, says Antonio the Guido. Yeah. I don't give fitness advice, Matt Becker. I've never given fitness advice. What did I do? Did I say something about fitness? I don't think I did that. Oh, when I stepping on scale. That's not fitness advice. That's psychological. Here's the thing. When you step on a scale and it doesn't move for 3 days, a lot of people give up. And so, I used to do that. Like when, early on when I was working out every single day and going to the gym, I had personal trainers. I knew I was getting fitter. I knew I was getting healthier, but sometimes I would step on the scale and it wouldn't move. But it didn't matter because I could run longer. I was faster. I was fitter. I could lift heavier weights. My 1 mile run was I was down to, I think, 7.5 minutes on a mile run. For me was phenomenal. And so I knew I was fitter, and stepping on the scale would have been psychologically damaging. Well, nothing's changing. I'm not losing weight, so let me just give up. This isn't working for me. And you hear people say stuff like that. People will say like, When you're in your 40s, you just give up. You don't lose weight. Just forget about it. Well, don't look. How about if you just don't look? Don't go on the scale. Don't psych yourself out. Just do what you need to be doing. Eat right. Eat fresh. When I go to the supermarket, I don't go down any of the aisles. I go around the borders of the supermarket, and that's the trick. If you walk around in the supermarket, you go around. You don't go down any of the aisles because that's where all the processed shit is. You hit the produce, you hit the meat and fish. You can get a little milk if you want to, eggs, dairy, and then just leave. Just get things that only have one ingredient, and that should be it. And if you're eating like that, you're eating, basic fresh food, and then you are on your treadmill or on your Peloton, or doing what I do. I have my same dumbbell routine that I do every single day. I'm working on my arms and my shoulders. I want my arms and my shoulders to get big again. That's what I do every single day. So it doesn't matter what the scale says. And then one day, maybe a month from now, I'll step on the scale. But it just isn't something that you should be doing every single day. A similar thing. It's like watching the stock market. Now the stock market's important right now. Watching every single day will freak you out. Just leave it alone. Just leave it there. Do what you're supposed to do. Save your money. Invest your money and leave it there. Just leave it. Everything's going to be okay. And then, focus on what you're meant to do, which is your work, and making sure that you get, you're on your Peloton, you're lifting your weights, you're running, you're eating right. Everything's going to take care of itself. Is that fitness advice? I don't think so. I think it's just psychological advice. He broke the scale. That's why it isn't important, says Peter. Yeah, stay away from the bakery. Do not go to the bakery. I don't do that at all. Muscle weight is 3 times the amount that fat does. So if you are training and building muscle and losing fat, you find you might not be losing weight. And depending on the muscle gain, you might weigh even more. Matt Becker says, you sound like you're doing your dumbbell routine right now. No, I'm swiveling around in my chair and talking. God damn you, Matt Becker. Captain Chokeout says, workout routines and mad gains, my specialty. Runs with Phantoms for $5 says, EVS will be a mummy before that Peloton. Feels like its existence meant something. My Peloton. Days of Clarity says, lock Cecil down to do some more streams. Cecil comes on whenever I ask him to. I really appreciate Cecil. Cecil's always there. He likes to live stream. The problem is when I have Cecil on a live stream, that means I'm going to be live streaming for 5 or 6 hours. I really enjoy his company, and it might be gay to say that, but I do. I enjoy talking to Cecil, and the time flies. I get nothing done because I'm talking to Cecil. It is gay, all right. Bob Bug with One Eye is King says, give up, fatso. That's my advice. Yeah. Cecil says, what a homo. Well, 4 thumbs down right now. We got 486 people watching and 4 thumbs down, 361 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you hit thumbs up? Runs with Phantoms, thanks for another $5. He says, response, my Peloton. LMAO. Ethan, you getting sentimental about your Peloton? No, it looks good. I did a little rearranging today, though. I know, look, I know you guys are bored of my office, but, oh, by the way, here's the white Cyberfrog. This is the paint-on Cyberfrog that you can get. So you can paint him yourself. Let me see here. Listening to little Flint Flossie. You can see that booty there. Flint Flossie's Pass. How come I can't get the booty on there? Okay, there it is. Pass My Hat, which I guess is not exactly new Flint Flossie, but it's new to me. I didn't know about this song. It's pretty good. All right. Over here, as you can see. Dang it. All right, let me just take this out. There. right. Are we back on? No, we're God damn it. This is why I hate broadcasting from my phone. This happens all the time. As soon as I hit that button, then the video goes out. Oh, sorry, guys. Well, it doesn't matter. I should be working anyway. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to show you that I moved my Jabba's sail barge away from the Peloton, so I'd have more room to use my Peloton. But I guess that's pointless, and I ruined the whole stream. Wah, wah. All right, guys. I'm getting back to work. See you later. Thanks.